Um, so we'll go ahead and call the meeting of the Southborough Youth Commission to order. Tonight is February 11th, 2025, and it is 7:01 p.m. First was minutes from the January 14th, 2025 meeting. If anyone had any edits or comments. I did have one question on it. I was reading it and it probably was correct. I just didn't remember. Was it 98 families that were served for Winter Wishes?
Oh dear.
Well, the 98 was fine, but was it families and not people?
That sounds like a lot of people.
Yeah, I don't think that's right. It's probably 98 individuals from X number of families.
Okay.
I can find that really quickly if you give me 1 second.
Yeah, that seems like a lot.
It did seem like a lot.
So this was for Winter Wishes?
Yes.
Okay. Hopefully, this is somewhat what you have. So we had 25 families, 46 individuals over the age of 18 and 49 under the age of 18. So I probably didn't break it down like that. If anyone's good at doing math really quick.
So 46 and 49, that's 95.
Okay.
Okay.
Maybe we could just say 25 families.
Good.
I'll just say 25 families, 95 participants.
Sure.
All right.
Were there any other discussion about the minutes? Can I have a motion?
I'm sorry, I don't know that this is a big deal. It's not a big deal to me, but I don't, just for the public record, it has my name as Lauren instead of Laura.
No, sorry.
I don't know if it doesn't matter to me. I just don't know if it matters in an official capacity.
Since I'm going to make some addendums anyway, I will include that. Sorry.
Okay. No worries at all. I just didn't know if it made a
Sometimes I
difference.
type these up late at night in my bed.
Is there a motion
Then
then?
I make a motion to approve the minutes of the January 14th Southborough Youth Commission
As amended, maybe?
as amended.
Okay.
I
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Great. So roll call vote. Laura Chioco,
Aye.
Sarah Micas,
Aye.
Karen Englam,
Aye.
Susan Byer,
Aye.
and Lauren Ritchie. Aye. Next is the director's report. So Sarah, please.
Okay. We've been busy. So I feel like something that's really consumed my time, two things mainly that have consumed my time in the month of January, and not just my time, but other staff as well, is updating our financial assistance form and working on the community needs assessment. So the financial assistance form, having been part of several other groups or been consulted on a number of different needs, I've become aware that across the town there's several different departments or committees that residents can apply to get assistance for. And at each of these stops, there's a different application asking slightly different, but mostly the same information and asking for the same financial documents from residents. And so I had a conversation, I don't even remember where it originated from, but had several conversations with the recreation department and with some of our select board members about streamlining things into a, so to speak, universal financial assistance application. And I also wanted to work with the IT department on figuring out a way for families to securely submit their application as well as upload their documents in a secure way. The way it had been done currently is that people would have to make an appointment and come in and drop off hard copies for us to verify their eligibility. So, so a couple of things happened. We talked with Recreation, who was on board to play the role of guinea pig for this year, and they have their own scholarship process and agreed to no longer do that and navigate everything over to our department. So anything recreation related that families could be scholarship eligible for, this application will cover that. In addition to families applying, we also created a tiered system because we really wanted to make sure that families, we have found in the past that when families get 100% coverage of something like camp, that it becomes easier to miss camp. And we really wanted them to have a more invested experience. And so our tiers are 25% discount, 50% discount, and 90% discount for camp and their wrap programs. And then this application will also be used so far in 2025 for Winter Wishes eligibility also. I'm hoping to have further conversation and have started that process around possibly including transfer station sticker fee waivers in this application, because there's a different application for that currently, different process, different department altogether. And also considering the emergency fund. I have a meeting with some of the other committee members on Thursday to talk about it further. The emergency fund's a little bit trickier because we want families to apply around the time that they are requesting support. So whereas this application can be filled out in January, and the way it stands currently means that they're eligible for anything that's offered in 2025. So at any rate, it's been a valuable, a bit of a time-consuming process, but a valuable one because it's a lot more work up front to get this to work. But in the end, it will be much more streamlined for residents if we can pull it off. We moved the application onto DocuSign, which is a really much more secure platform for residents. And I learned a lot about DocuSign in this process and all of the things it can do, and learned that residents can actually securely upload or attach documents right to their application when they submit it, which is great. So they will not need to make a trip over to our office to bring hard copies of their eligibility. And one other thing about the application that has been very important to us is we really wanted to strike a balance between making sure that we're not asking residents to go jump through so many hoops that they abandon the process because it's too much work. So we've asked them, if you're already eligible for something like SNAP benefits or Mass Health or, other federal or state programs that require income eligibility, if you've already jumped through those hoops and you can show us, verify that you received those benefits, then you're automatically eligible for some type of support in this program. And then, we've asked that they submit their 1040 from their last filed tax return to indicate which tier they fall into in terms of a discounted price for the programs that are discounted. So we didn't want them to jump through too many hoops, so we're making it somewhat straightforward, but we also didn't want to, with limited resources, we didn't want to just give money away without verifying that we're really identifying the families who are truly in need. So we tried really hard with this application to find that balance, and so far it's working well. but it will probably take shape over time. And like I said, we're hoping to start including other groups in the process. And once we can show that it's been successful, we'll approach even more folks, because the trust fund has its own application and the taxation aid committee has their own application, and not everybody is going to necessarily be on board with it, but that's okay. We're doing our best. So so that's one thing that I've been very busy with. I
Are
don't
you
know if
requiring, sorry to interrupt, are you requiring this year's, we talked about this at a meeting, tax returns, even though they're doing it prior to tax returns, or is,
Yes, so I talked with select board members about that and our town treasurer, and we felt as though, because you're right, especially for camp season, we need to find out if people are income eligible now, and they may not have done their taxes yet for 2024. So we have decided that we're okay with whatever their last completed or filed tax return is. The worst case scenario is that it's a year-old information, but even if it is, we expect that most people are not going to be, their financial situation is not going to be drastically different,
Right.
unless they've won the lottery or something like that. But even if their situation improves, it still takes time to, rebound from that. So so we were okay with that. The other thing that we've been very busy with, and I think all of you have been tapped on the shoulder for this, is our community needs assessment. So we're taking a three-pronged approach with this. We have a community-wide survey that we haven't rolled out yet. Right now, Emily and I are really focusing on the other two prongs, which are key stakeholder interviews. So these are one-on-one interviews with stakeholders, so folks who work in town, who might be involved in town government or have a leadership role within the school department, or who are sort of highly involved. Those are, one-on-one interviews. And then we're also trying to conduct focus groups. The interviews have been much easier to figure out how to schedule. The focus groups, of course, naturally are harder. People are very busy, and I just want to express our gratitude to all of you for your willingness to help however you can. I told Emily, I don't know why I like this analogy so much for a variety of things, but I said, think Tupperware party, where we meet with a group and then we say to the group at the end, does somebody in this group have another group of friends that they might connect us with? And then we kind of network that way. All in all, we're looking for 10 different groups. We would really ideally like to have different sectors represented. So we're looking for residents who identify as male to participate in these groups, parents of different age groups, people with different backgrounds culturally, all sorts of different sectors of the community, different faith organizations. So thank you for your help with this. And if you have any suggestions on, folks that we should talk to and ask for help with organizing a group, that would be extremely helpful. I did list for you guys all of the places that we've been in contact with so far. And we're getting there. It just takes a little bit of a lot or a little bit of persistence. So so that's been a lot of work, and I'm grateful for Emily's involvement, because she's been really masterful in connecting with people and keeping all of these moving pieces organized. It's been a great opportunity for her to meet people too. So anyone have questions on that?
When are the focus groups going to happen, and expected completion timeline?
We're hoping to have those finished by the end of spring. And I realize it's kind of vague, because your definition of spring might be different than mine. So I think we're shooting for end of April. To wrap those things up, then, we also need to start getting our survey out into the community. Whereas this has been, fairly heavy lifting, we're trying to get these pieces going first. But we have essentially most of 2025 to work on the entire project from beginning to end, which includes, analyzing data on Trendline's part and presenting the data to the community. So, yeah, we will get there. It's been a fun process so far. And again, the data we collect will hopefully be beneficial not only for our department, but several different departments. And we hope to utilize the information to inform the development of our next 5-year plan and the goals and strategies we want to address moving forward. And then at the bottom of the director's report is some upcoming dates and information. So I'm happy to highlight Screenagers Under the Influence. I don't know if anybody remembers, we had done a Screenagers showing. There's several volumes or different Screenagers movies, I'll say. So we showed the first one several years ago. This one is Screenagers Under the Influence, and it's a sort of a documentary about the intersection between youth substance use and social media, which is an interesting challenge that we have as a community, and lots of communities have. So Encompass, our coalition, is putting that on. We're providing childcare for families that need that. It's intended for audiences age 12 and up. We highly recommend that parents consider taking their kids and watching the movie together. We will be serving popcorn courtesy of the recreation department, and it's at Algonquin's Black Box Theater on, this is really tiny, I'm sorry, February 25th from 6 to 8 p.m. We will have a brief panel presentation following the movie with some local subject matter experts, including Dr. Medina and some other folks from who are involved in treatment and supporting youth. So that's happening. I don't know if Janet has emailed everybody yet about the March Youth Commission meeting, but I was requesting that we reschedule it because also on this director's report, we've been asked to co-present with the elementary schools a supportive presentation on social emotional learning, and working with 4 principals on their availability was a bit of a challenge. So this is what we landed on, and I was hoping that we could potentially reschedule our March meeting for that reason. So that's happening. We're going to do a morning presentation and an evening presentation. Again, we'll continue to work on the community needs assessment moving forward. That's something we'll be working on for a while. I continue to have it on my radar. I just haven't had a chance to work on it, but I'm trying to form an accessibility committee here in town amongst town departments to address things like language barriers and making sure that our marketing materials are easily translatable and out in the community just as much as everything else is. Support for hearing impairment, visual impairment, all of the things that we need to make sure that we're doing as town departments. So hopefully I can get that going in the near future. Mindful Art, we've rescheduled. We had that scheduled back in November, but Shannon wasn't able to be here for that, so we had to postpone, but we've got that rescheduled for April, and we'll start advertising for that soon. And then lastly, all of the local Metro West, I'm going to say youth and family services like departments in the area and other neighboring communities. We're all getting together on March 14th for a training and to enjoy breakfast together for a networking opportunity. So lots of good things coming up. Any questions on any of those things?
Sarah, do you know anything about the speaker that's going to be at the spring sports registration night for Algonquin?
I do. That's being hosted by Encompass also.
Mhm.
We're not, I could have highlighted that for you.
Oh.
It's flying under the radar because it's sort of a by invitation only kind of event for athletes. But there's an organization called Minding Your Mind who employs lots of different speakers. Actually, John Madelman, if any of you remember John Madelman, was a speaker with Minding Your Mind. But in particular, they employ a lot of young adults who share their own firsthand experience with substance use, mental health, pressures from school, sports pressures. So Encompass was approached by Minding Your Mind about the prospect of having a speaker, and it happened to align with the spring athletic night. And so we are bringing them a speaker to talk with athletes about this particular person that we chose is somebody who was a previous athlete herself, and we'll talk about the pressures that she felt being a school athlete, trying to balance school, peer pressure, that sort of thing. So
I was glad that you rescheduled the board meeting too, because that's the same night. That was March
oh,
11th.
is it? Oh, good.
I was like, oh, that works even better.
I did it for that reason too.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Also, Sarah, the 2026 FY 2026 budget update.
Sure. So I know Sam Stivers and Marguerite Landry were here last meeting to talk about the Human Services Department. There has been no movement on that since then, so it's still a concept that's being discussed. As it stands, our budget that is moving forward is the one that you all originally looked at and voted on. There have been no amendments to that. I just got notification from our town treasurer today about what's being printed in the warrant or what's moving forward, and it's the same figure that we already voted on. So not much of an update, but an update nonetheless to let you know that things are status quo.
All right. Next is the Youth Commission vacancy update. And we're happy to say that there's someone who has applied and will be going to the select board meeting. I think it's February 25th or 22nd, something like that. I think it's the 25th. And it's up to the select board to decide to appoint or not. But both Sarah and I have gone over the list that we created of information with this person, and they're interested. So next is outreach opportunities. And
I was just
yeah,
going to say, Lauren, it occurred to me that I've listed a few things on our upcoming events, namely Screenagers, the movie, the presentation with the elementary schools. And so, these are things that we haven't explicitly asked permission to do outreach at, but that we could easily do so. So I'm happy to do that. I also don't want people to miss an opportunity to attend these things if they're interested, but I think screenagers and the supporting students social and emotional learning and development are two opportunities that we could have some information. I will be at both of those, so I'm happy to sort of try to man a table. I think that's probably it. Mindful art, I don't think would lend itself very well to doing outreach at that event, but those two will hopefully draw a larger crowd. And so we could count that towards some outreach.
That sounds good. Do you want Janet to send around a sign-up sheet or?
Yeah, I'll make a note. And again, like I said, I will be there. So in worst case scenario, I can do my best. But I'll have her sign or send out an email letting people know the dates. And if you happen to be free and would like to attend and help out with that, that would be great.
All right. And then on our radar, I think we talked about the baseball game or opening day in maybe April. So that's down the road a bit, but it's on our horizon.
We'll try to get some information on when that's happening.
That was fun last year.
It was.
Lots of lemonade.
Yes, lots of lemonade.
Yes, we still have
Uh,
lemonade.
See what
My
our
son,
theme
my
is this
son
year.
Dylan still cherishes his lemonade, his plastic lemon that he named Jerry.
And then Karen, friends update.
Okay, we did a timely Valentine's Day. We called it Pet Palentine's Day, a pet photo fundraiser. Unfortunately, like a lot of our fundraising efforts, it didn't go over so well. We had 16 entries so far, so that's $160, but it's not like we put a lot of effort into it and we didn't lose money, so that's good. I don't know, we thought the town would get a little more excited because everyone's dog has dogs and pets.
I think
and
it's a
everything.
great idea.
I know they even posted at like preschools and stuff, but
Yeah.
it's probably just one more thing that parents are like, ugh, now I have to like take a picture and submit it. And I mean, they have like a
Everybody
million
has a cute picture of their pet, though.
on their phone. I know. We thought it was going to go over a lot.
I think it's a fantastic idea, but I didn't submit, but I could.
Well, make it
You know-
7.
I'll do it tonight.
So we have a friends meeting tomorrow night, and we were gonna vote on the entries. And Travis even a-okayed the winner getting to march in the Heritage Day Parade, assuming it's not a tiger or a bear and just a dog or something. I said, yeah, I think we're pretty safe.
I like that.
Yeah.
Karen,
So
I wouldn't give up on the idea because we have learned that things take time to gain traction.
Yeah.
And I would try it at least 2 more times. And I know it happens only once a year, but it could be something that people get into. It's taking a picture. I mean, I think Sarah is right that most people already have a picture and that they could just peruse. And it's fun. It's not like a chore.
yeah.
You
I
could
know.
theoretically also, have 12 winners and create a calendar or something like that,
We
where
did talk about that, but then we were
Yeah.
like, the cost for the printings for the
yeah,
calendar.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
But we thought, hey, at least the winner could get bragging rights and marching in the Heritage Day Parade.
Yeah, I love that.
I
Or
put
even just post the last picture of your pet and just run it that way. Who has the craziest, silliest, cutest, whatever. There could be a couple categories, but I think if you just made it super easy, like
Yeah.
post it onto like maybe the Facebook group or something like that.
Yeah, I did. Lauren, you submitted, didn't you?
I did, and I want to say that it was really easy, and it took me, I mean, I started on a rabbit hole going through all my photos, and that was just fun. But the process was easy, the upload was easy, the Venmo was easy. And I got a kick out of looking at my pictures, so
Yeah. Okay. We'll try it again. We'll keep, and I mean, I
I
tried
think
to put
it's
it
a-
on the Facebook page and I put a little picture of a dog in the parade, and I'm like, breaking news, you get to march, so I was trying to, but like, it's only so much as we can get the word out, but maybe
Mhm.
next year, like you said, Sarah, we'll keep going. I mean, it's no work for us, and even if,
Right.
I mean, a couple $100 is, we didn't have it before and whatever. So,
How about
Aw.
Oh,
this?
look.
oh, here we go.
Someone take a screenshot.
Yeah, that's what we need is a screenshot of your dog
Yeah.
at the youth commission
Yeah,
meeting.
coming
Or you
to
could
the
do like
meeting.
a
He's
dog
going
gosh.
here.
You could do like a look-alike contest, Karen.
Ooh, that would be cool.
That'd be funny. Yeah.
Oh,
Love
kisses.
you.
So that was one idea. We also floated around, we were going to do a pickleball tournament, but we've looked into renting out a place and we're not sure once again about the cost, just with the unknown amount of people showing up and we don't want to lose money. So we are working with rec department and we might be able to do one in the spring using the Finn courts outside. So we don't have to pay to do it. We were going to rent like Clock Tower pickleball in Ashland or something indoors. So we're moving that idea to possibly do outdoor in the spring and maybe at the same time do like a field day kind of family event, because not everyone will play pickleball. So we could do some field day events like sack races, three-legged, whatever, stuff like that. Get some food trucks to show up. So we're thinking maybe that for the spring. So, and we have March Munchie Madness. We always do. That's pretty successful to raise a decent amount of money. I think last year, Nan's alone, we got 700, and it's not a lot of, it's just we pick a Wednesday of the month. Nan's actually this year said we could possibly have a Saturday. So we'll have flyers. I think we're doing Muya and Chick-fil-A and Panera. So, and we're trying to get Wellies and Wemmys. They're two restaurants in Marlborough. And so we'll have flyers out, and it's as long as you go that night, they'll give us 10% of the proceeds or whatever. So. And then Kathy's going to do some kind of tickets, but to be determined what she's gotten. So hopefully soon we'll be able to raffle off some tickets as well. And that's always makes a decent amount of money. Yeah, like I said, we're meeting tomorrow, so I'll have more updates.
Thanks for all your work.
Yeah, that's a lot. It's great to hear. And I think it really gets youth and family services out there as well. So just people seeing the posts and the names, and I think that's great. So we're down to adjournment.
Wow.
If anyone has a motion for that. It's
Wow,
always funny
team
to
meeting.
motion to adjourn.
Lauren's like, I'm so ready for bed.
I'm kind of with you, Lauren. I make a
I'm sorry.
motion to adjourn the February 11th, 2025 meeting of the Southborough Youth Commission at 7:32, I think.
I'll second that.
All right, roll call vote. Laura Chioco,
Hi.
Sarah Mikas,
Aye.
Karen England,
Hi.
Susan Byer, and Lauren Ritchie. Aye. Good to see everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Feel better,
Feel better,
Lauren.
Lauren.
Yeah,
Thanks.
stay
Bye.
well, people. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.